clear now? My voice is coming now? Is it?
Yes, good. It works good. You can start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone. Hi, I am Dr. Shivani Dhall, Assistant Professor working in Department of Physics in DAV College, India. Today I am going to discuss the very interesting material, that is a candle carbon soot, that we can use as a sensing materials. In this work, I am going to show how the candle carbon soot can replace the other carbon materials like graphene and CNT in a gas sensing area. So the content of my work is the introduction of sensors. In this work, I'm going to show the gas sensors, especially for the hydrogen gas. And then I will discuss how we synthesize the candle carbon soot with the desired layer. And then we show how we fabricate the candle carbon soot based gas sensor and how we test candle carbon soot as a hydrogen gas sensor at a room temperature condition. After that, I will discuss the role of the carbon nanotubes in the sensing of hydrogen gas, and then I will show how we join the broken carbon nanotubes and in other materials using the EBAD techniques. So first is when we talk about the sensor, so a general example in my mind, that is when we have a cup of tea in our hand. So in that case, our nose will decide whether not sense the temperatures and send the signal to our mind, and where mind is decide whether we'll have to take the tea or not. So after the decision we take a tea or not, it depends. Decision of the taking a tea is the signal, is the output of this process, and cup of tea is a simple input. So basically, sensor is a device that detects the signals or any physical conditions and convert into electrical signals. So most of the sensors are electronic in nature, but as we know, in the market there are different type of sensors are available, like pressure sensor, leakage pressure sensor, humidity sensor, gas sensor, flow sensor, and chemical sensor. But in this work, my main focus on is the gas sensor. Gas sensor is a branch of sensor in which we sense the gases in a particular area. For the gas sensors, there are different type of the materials we have used. That is a metal oxide gas sensor, electrochemical sensor, optical sensor, and chemical gas sensor. But in this work, I am going to discuss chemi-resistive gas sensor, or say metal oxide gas sensor. The basic concept of this gas sensor is, first we have to take two electrodes of any materials. Maybe it is a gold, maybe it is ammonium, maybe it is a silver. Then on that we put, or we can deposit our sensing materials, and further this electrode can be connected to the any multimeters to shows when we put the sensing materials in a particular gas, there is change in the resistance with respect to the time. So this is known as the chemi-resistive gas sensor. It is very simple to design, it is very simple to handle, and it is very effective technique than other electrochemical gas sensor, optical gas sensor, and chemical sensor. So in this work, I'm using the hydrogen, I'm discussing the hydrogen gas sensor. Actually, as we know, nowadays hydrogen is used in the concept of the green energy also. Hydrogen is a odorless and inflammable in nature, and it is explosive our 4% in the environment. So it is very important to detect the hydrogen gas to avoid any accident, and it is light among all the gases. So on this factor, we can say that the detection of the hydrogen gas sensor in particular area is very, very important. The main parameter for the gas sensor is the first main parameter of when we're choosing any material for the gas sensor. So we talk about the sensitivity. Sensitivity, here we are going to discuss the chemi-resistive gas sensor. So we are seeing the change in resistance when we put our material in any tested gas. So change in resistance is matter for us. So the formula for sensitivity is the describing here, where Rn is resistance of sensors, that is a inert gas. It can be nitrogen, it can be air, it can be argon, and RH is resistance of tested gas. So another main factor is the recovery and response time of the sensor. In this work, I am mainly focused on the room temperature sensing of carbon soot for the detection of the hydrogen gas. So obviously, stability and repeatability of the result is very important. And another main issue is the complete resistance recovery of the sensor. If we talk about all the factors, I am focusing on the room temperature operating condition as well as the stability and repeatability in the performance of this sensor. Okay, so there are different type of materials available in a market for the also reported by researchers for the detection of the hydrogen gas. If we talk about the semiconductor materials, there are different type of the material: tin oxide, zinc oxide, titanium oxide. Commercially, if we talk about the commercial gas sensor, people are using and industries are using tin oxide. But tin oxide is working at a high temperature, that is approximately 150 to 200. So room temperature detection of the hydrogen gas with this semiconductor materials is not possible. Another one is lithium doped and nickel oxide and some composites, but again they require high temperatures. Electrochemical sensors, optical sensors, and metallic sensors. Metallical sensors hydrogen gas at the room temperature, but the cost of these metals is very high. Also, people are using the combination of the carbon materials like CNT and tin oxide, CNT and metals. So lots of data is available on the carbon materials with the combination of the semiconductors and metallic. But in this work, I am going to use very light material, that is a tender carbon soot. So here I'm going to show you why people are using the carbon materials as a gas sensing. But what are difficulties when we use the carbon materials? Firstly, any carbon materials like graphene, like CNT, second carbon soot has strong van der Waals forces. So the aggregation and bundling of these materials is appear when we talk about these pristine materials. So also this materials has a poor solubility in the any aqueous mediums like water, ethanol. So bundling of these materials appears very quickly. So that is a main drawback of these carbon materials. Also, the amorphous materials appears when we synthesize materials, and they are pure as synthesized materials, as purchased CNTs, graphene are also shows less sensitive towards the gases. So it is very important to functionalize the carbon materials before using for any gas sensing applications. Okay, this is a basic diagram of the candle's carbon soot. This can be we need one candle and one matchbox. So with the single candle flame, we get a thick layer of the candle carbon soots. It's our choice whether we have to go thin layer and whether we have to use thick layer. It's our choice, and it's the main purpose of these frames, as we are showing, when we place any substrate on this area, when we get to the 1 to 6 centimeter in a size, we just get a particles on the plate that is around 1 to 6 centimeter in the size. If we put the substrate on that area, So that is, then we get kind of particles, yes, like carbon particles of the size of 10 to 15 nanometer in a size. So choice of the flame area is also depend on our applications. Here I'm showing that there is a change in thickness with respect to the time. When we start with the 0, the substrate is very clean. When if for 4 minutes, 8 minutes, and to 40 minutes, we see there is a change in the color as well as change in the thickness of the carbon soot that is posted on the substrates. So this is the work that is done by me at a lab level. So here for the optimizations, I used simple glass slides and cleaned by IPA and acetone process, and then we put this glass substrate on the top of the flame for a few seconds, and then we see how much layer is deposited on the substrate. Here I'm using the glass slides, and this one is the semi-maze that is showing a chain of the particles is deposited on the substrate, that is a glass substrate, and this chain is very helpful in the sensing of hydrogen gas. Actually, when we talk about the sensor, we need high surface to volume ratio, so good absorption is possible. So in first we have optimized the CCS layers by hit and trial methods, and then we have designed the gas sensor. But as we said earlier, as synthesis materials is not effective for the gas sensing. So first then we use this kind of cover suit for the process. For the functionalization, I have used this piranha solution, that is a combination of H2SO4 and HNO3. But here in this work, I used only H2SO4, a few drops of H2SO4, and then we just drop this H2SO4 on the substrate where we have deposited the cover suit layers, and then put into vacuum for the dry process, and then we have used this substrate for the further process. So this is a basic structure analysis of the carbon suit. As we see, there is a huge difference in the functionalized and the asynthesis CCS, that is carbon suit. The density of the carbon suit material after the H2SO4 deposition, we see the density is increased. It means crystallinity of the materials increased. And here this is a Raman spectra is also confirmed that after the functionation of the carbon suit, the intensity of D and band, DG band increase significantly, and new band is also appears. As we know, D indicate the disorder in the CNTs, or we can say the attachment of the functional group on the carbon suit, and G is indicate the graphic order of the carbon suit that is increased after the functionation of the carbon suit, and the G dash indicate that the electrical conductivity is improved. So all from this structure analysis, we can say that our functionation with the H2SO4 is successful, and attachment of the functional groups that help in further sensing of hydrogen molecules, very helpful. So this is a basic steps that I have used in the fabrication of carbon suit based gas sensor. First, we have started for the fabrication of sensor. We have replaced the glass slide with the silicon oxide wafer, and then we have deposited carbon suit layer on that. After that, we have make two contacts that further connect with the multimeters, and from where we can see the change in distance when we put this sensor in a hydrogen gas. So after this is the process for the simple as synthesized carboxylic material, but we found that the detection of hydrogen gas with the simple as synthesis carboxylic is not possible. Then we have use H2SO4 on the CCS film. Same process we have again followed, but the main the difference is that here we poured some drops of H2SO4 on silicon oxide layer, and then we again put the sample in the chamber, and we see what is the effect of the hydrogen gas on the resistance of the functionalized CCS layers. So this is basic result that I received. As we are seeing, pure CCS is not sensitive to H2 gas, but when we used functionalized CCS, there is change in resistance. That is for here we are using the 0.5% hydrogen gas, that is around to the 500 ppm. And this is a different concentration, that is we are varying from 0.5 to 2% hydrogen gas. So when we are going to change the concentration of the gas, the sensitivity is also changed. And this one is response and recovery time of the CCS sensors. It is approximately of the order of the second. So from this result, we can say that we can replace graphene and other carbon materials that is very costly as comparison to CCS when we talk about the hydrogen gas sensor. So another, as I said earlier, this is a basic schematic in which I'm using the multi-wall carbon nanotube as a gas sensing material. So this is again in this I have again functionalized this nanotubes with the combination of H2SO4 HNO3, that is well known in solution. And this one is some images that clear that after the functionalization of the CNT, the defect appears, and we can say defect is considered as a functional group, attachment of functional groups on the CNTs. Raman spectra is also clear that after the functionalizations, the density of DNG clear that the attachment of the functional groups on the CNTs and the appearance of G dash band, the electrical conductivity of CNT improved when we talk about the functionalized CNTs. And this is a basic step that I have used to fabricate the IDs with the use of photolithography. And this one is the basic chamber where we have put the CNTs and CNTs again connected with the multimeter to showing the chemical gas sensor. So here are some results. As we can say that candle carbon is room temperature in the same way hydrogen gas at room temperatures, but when we functionalize the CNTs, it is again active to the hydrogen gas. As we know, the functional groups act as a catalyst and for the hydrogen molecules, and this is a response and recovery time that is again the order of the seconds. So we have tried many combination of CNTs and metals and oxides. So from this combination, we can say that the combination of metal, that is PT and tin oxide with functionalized multi-wall carbon nanotubes is more effective for the detection of the low concentration, that is a 500 ppm of H2 gas at the room temperatures conditions. So from this work, we have concluded that we can use the tin oxide with the combination of metals and CNT at the room temperature detection. Otherwise, with the tin oxide, we have to use high temperature conditions for sensing the hydrogen gas. Or here is my another work, that is joining of carbon materials by the EBI techniques. In this, first we have designed the gold pad by using the lithography. Here, this is gold pads, and this is optical image before lithography. This is optical image after lithography, and the pad width is 100 micrometers, and the channel between the two pads is 3 micrometers. After that, we have dispersed the CNTs in DMF solution, and we found many well suspended CNTs on the gold pad. And these are the IV's characteristics of this hanging individual CNTs. That is a 3 meter channel length, and this is a gold pad. And after that, we have noticed that when we deposit any metal, here I'm using the platinum in a GIF system, that is the EBI technique. Sometimes we call it the gas injection system, sometimes it's called as a electron beam induced depositions. We have deposited nanopads, and we found that when we deposit nanopads, the current which is drastically increased. Here is the 300 micrometer, and here is that is approximate is 500 micrometers. So from there, these are 4 different CNTs, and we found that from this table, the current is drastically increased when we deposit the PT metals at the end of this contact. But during this measurement, we found that when we go for a high shift voltage, there is a noise in the IV curve. When we notice this CNT in a semi-maze, it is completely broken. So then I tried to join the CNT again using the EBA technique. Here we have used the tungsten metals, but I did this same work with the PT metal also. Both metals are very helpful in joining of the CNTs. We just put some vapors of tungsten metals on particular areas like this area, and we found again it's IV. So IV curve is almost linear. That means which confirms the electrical joining of CNT after deposition of the tungsten metals. So this work I have repeated with the different metals, and I got results. So from this work, we can say that we can join the many nanomaterials, carbon materials at the nano level. That is known as the nano level. So in summary, we can say that we can use tender carbon and tender carbon soot as a gas sensor, but the possible condition is that first we have to functionalize it. Otherwise, the sensitivity is very low. So also we found that the resistance recovery, repeatability, modest sensitivity is possible with the carbon soot at room temperature conditions. So here I'm using very simple method for the functionation without any heating and without any reflux methods. I just drop the some drops of H2SO4 on the CCS, and but concentration of the acid and drops of the acid matter. Otherwise, we can damage the our materials. That is not good for the sensing of H2 gas. Also, we have shows given how we separate the CNT from the bundles, and also we have discussed how with the EBA techniques is helpful in the joining of nanomaterials at the nano level. So I hope this work is very interesting for you.